Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a moment in every woman's life when she realizes that the world will not hand her strength. She must build it herself. Not with muscle, not with money, but with a mind so powerful that no heartbreak, no failure, no fear can shake it. Today, if you're ready to stop living on the opinions of others, if you're ready to rewrite your story from the inside out, then listen closely. Because the woman you can become is far greater than the woman you've been told to be. And once you unlock the strength of your mind, nothing, absolutely nothing, will be able to stop you. When life challenges a woman, it is not her strength of body that decides her future, but the strength of her mind. The world may try to define you by limitations, but you are meant to rise above boundaries. Every unstoppable woman begins her journey the moment she decides that her mind will no longer be controlled by fear, doubt, or the opinions of others. The mind is like a garden. What you plant will grow. Plant confidence, plant clarity, plant courage, and watch how life begins to bloom in ways you never imagined. The first secret is emotional mastery. When storms rise, do not allow your mind to be shaken. A mentally strong woman feels deeply, but she doesn't allow temporary emotions to dictate permanent decisions. She learns to step back, breathe, and respond with wisdom instead of reacting with impulse. Strength is not in suppressing emotions, but in understanding them. The second secret is clarity of purpose. When you know who you are and what you want, the noise of the world loses its power. A woman with purpose is like a river. She carves her path even through rocks. Focus on your direction, not distractions. The third secret is self-respect. Never allow anyone to treat you less than what you deserve. A mentally strong woman builds boundaries, not walls. Boundaries protect your peace, your dignity, and your energy. When you respect yourself, others learn to respect you too. The fourth secret is resilience. Life will test you, break you, stretch you, but it will also rebuild you. Every difficulty carries a hidden lesson, and every setback is preparing you for a stronger comeback. A mentally strong woman does not avoid challenges. She grows through them. The fifth secret is gratitude. When you start appreciating what you have, your mind becomes a powerhouse of positivity. Gratitude turns ordinary days into blessings and challenges into opportunities. It keeps your heart humble and your mind grounded. A mentally strong woman is not born. She is built through choices, consistency, and courage. She learns that true power is not in controlling the world, but in mastering the world within her. And when a woman becomes the master of her mind, she becomes truly unstoppable. She becomes a force that no circumstance can shake, because her foundation is built on awareness, discipline, and inner strength. When a woman reaches this state of mind, she stops waiting for approval from the world and starts approving her own journey. She understands that real confidence is not loud. It is calm, steady, and unshakable. It comes from knowing that her worth is not dependent on achievements, looks, or validation, but on the unwavering belief that she is enough, exactly as she is, while still striving to grow every single day. A woman who chooses mental strength begins to surround herself with people who uplift her instead of draining her. She learns that the company she keeps shapes her energy, her thoughts, and even her destiny. When she walks away from negativity, it is not an act of arrogance, but an act of self-care. She realizes that protecting her mental peace is not selfish. It is necessary, just like oxygen is necessary for survival. She knows that when her mind is healthy, her decisions are wiser, her relationships are stronger, and her path becomes clearer. With time, she starts embracing the beauty of patience. She understands that meaningful growth doesn't happen overnight. Just like a seed must push through the darkness of the soil before it feels the warmth of the sun, She too must go through phases where progress feels slow, unclear, or painful. But she keeps going because she trusts the process. She trusts that every effort she makes, every habit she builds, and every challenge she faces is shaping her into the woman she is meant to become. A mentally strong woman also learns to forgive, not because others always deserve forgiveness, but because she deserves peace. Holding on to grudges only ties her to the past, while letting go sets her mind free. She understands that forgiveness is not forgetting. It is choosing not to let past wounds control her present happiness. With every moment of forgiveness, she becomes lighter, calmer, and stronger. She develops the courage to dream fearlessly. She stops shrinking herself to make others comfortable and starts expanding her vision to match her potential. She realizes that dreams are not meant to be doubted. They are meant to be pursued with faith, effort, and resilience. She learns to silence the inner voice that says you can't, and instead nurtures the voice that whispers, try again. Slowly, she transforms into a woman who leads her life with compassion, clarity, and strength. She becomes someone who inspires not by perfection, but by authenticity, by showing that strength and softness can coexist, that ambition and humility can walk together, and that true power comes from mastering the mind, not the world. She becomes someone who understands that growth is not a destination, but a lifelong journey. Every day offers her a new chance to learn, unlearn, and rise a little higher than yesterday. She begins to honor her journey instead of comparing it with others. She realizes that comparison steals joy, weakens focus, and blinds her from seeing the blessings already present in her life. Instead of looking at others' success with envy, she looks at it with inspiration, reminding herself that if something is possible for one woman, it is possible for her too, with patience, discipline, and persistent faith. As she grows mentally stronger, she also becomes more intentional with her energy. She learns to say no without guilt, because she understands that her time and peace are precious resources that must be used wisely. She stops stretching herself thin to make everyone happy. She recognizes that she cannot pour from an empty cup, so she prioritizes her well-being not as a luxury, but as a necessity. Strength is not in enduring burnout, but in recognizing when to rest, reset, and rebuild. Her mental strength also brings her the confidence to take responsibility for her life. She stops blaming circumstances, people, or luck for her condition. Instead, she asks herself empowering questions. What can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? What can I change today to build a better tomorrow? This mindset transforms her from a passive observer of life into an active creator. She begins to shape her future with deliberate choices instead of waiting for life to change on its own. Along this journey, she discovers that discipline is her greatest ally. Motivation may fluctuate, moods may shift, but discipline keeps her anchored. It turns her intentions into actions and her actions into results. She realizes that small steps taken consistently have the power to create extraordinary transformation. Whether it is reading a few pages a day, practicing gratitude every morning, or taking a moment to reflect before reacting, each tiny act strengthens her mind little by little. She begins to embrace authenticity with courage. She stops hiding her true self to fit into expectations. She speaks her truth with humility and stands her ground with dignity. She becomes unapologetically herself, knowing that the world appreciates originality far more than imitation. The more she embraces who she truly is, the more freedom she experiences, freedom to live, love, and grow without fear. As she continues walking this path, she becomes an example of inner strength for others without even trying. People notice her calmness in chaos, her dignity in difficulty, and her grace under pressure. They see a woman who does not break easily, because her strength is not borrowed from external sources, it is built from within. They see someone who has learned that true power is not loud or aggressive, but deeply rooted in self-awareness and quiet confidence. She carries herself with a balance that comes only from understanding her mind. She no longer reacts instantly to negativity or provocation. Instead, she chooses her responses with calm reflection. She knows that every reaction is an investment of her energy, and she invests only in what nourishes her growth. As she develops this inner stability, she realizes that her journey is not about proving anything to anyone. It is about becoming the best version of herself, step by step, day by day. She becomes more patient with her flaws, more forgiving of her mistakes, and more appreciative of her strengths. Instead of seeing imperfections as weaknesses, she starts seeing them as areas waiting for her attention and love. This shift in mindset brings her peace, because she no longer carries the burden of unrealistic expectations. She also becomes more mindful in the way she speaks to herself. She replaces self-doubt with self-encouragement, criticism with compassion, and fear with faith. She learns that the words she tells herself shape her confidence more than the opinions of the entire world. With this understanding, she begins to treat her mind like a sacred space, clean, safe, and protected from negativity. She reminds herself that her inner dialogue is the foundation of her outer life. With stronger self-awareness, she becomes more courageous in taking steps toward her dreams. She stops waiting for the perfect moment because she understands that perfection is an illusion. She trusts that even imperfect action can create powerful momentum. She embraces challenges not as roadblocks, but as opportunities to strengthen her skills, broaden her perspective, and deepen her resilience. She understands that every breakthrough requires going beyond comfort, and she is no longer afraid of the discomfort that leads to growth. She also begins to recognize the importance of celebrating her small victories. Every time she chooses peace over panic, clarity over confusion, or patience over pressure, she acknowledges her progress. These small celebrations fuel her spirit and keep her motivated to keep moving forward. She understands that true transformation is built on consistency, not dramatic changes. Gradually, she becomes a source of calm inspiration in the lives of others. Not because she claims to have all the answers, but because she has learned how to navigate her challenges with maturity and grace. People feel safe around her energy, comforted by her wisdom, and inspired by her strength. They see a woman who has not been shaped by circumstances, but by conscious choices. They see someone who rises every time life pushes her down, not because she is unbreakable, but because she has taught herself how to rise stronger than before.